All right, welcome everyone. Welcome Instagram. Welcome YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube or Twitter, sorry, which is now what is Twitter X now or something? I don't know. It's something weird. But, a little more, maybe a little more free speech or whatever, but yeah. So, just an odd name. So welcome in, guys. I tonight I am probably going to read a little poetry instead of Agatha Christie. I know Agatha Christie's my favorite, but we did find a little poetry, so I thought I would go ahead and talk about that a little bit. You guys get to see my ceiling that they're still trying to fix in here. So you get the fun job of looking at that while I'm in here. But welcome Instagram. And you guys get to see my halfway filled up bookshelves. So welcome in. I decided to do it in here from the workroom because I was tired and I didn't want to move everything into my office in there. So I just wanted to talk to you a little bit tonight about several different things. So first of all, we still have our summer reading sale on in eBay, both the eBay bookstore and the non-bookstore, which has some books in it, but not the antique ones, if that makes any sense. And then we also have Biblio still yet, which I did just upload a first edition Gone with the Wind on Biblio. So if you want one of those, head on over there. Um, and then, of course, we're still on Abe Books. So I would just wanted to let you know about that. This year, we're going to have some fun stuff for Christmas. I'm still not sure exactly what I'm doing with Christmas as far as a promotion item, but it's going to be fun. Um, and I already have these that I'm making this year. I've been trying them out on everybody on Whatnot, and they are um, bookmarks, and they're made from old colored maps. And if you guys can see them on there, they're really cool. So they're made from copies of old colored maps that we found in our attic at the library. So we're promoting that and just, something fun. Um, and we've been doing this for, I guess, several months now. And they're basically just old plat maps from around our area, but they're really cool because they're hand colored and really quite nice. So, anyway, I just wanted to show you those. Um, and we're also doing some fun things like some of our checkout cards that we're finding. We're laminating them for bookmarks as well. We couldn't stand to cut these up, so and these are catalog cards. We have a ton of these. So, and those, we actually do sell those too on Rare and Antiquarian Estate Finds on eBay. That's the store on eBay. So we sell them by the lot of 100. So if anybody is interested in those, they can hop on over there. Also, we do have checkout card bookmarks, which are really fun too. So, and those are also in the Rare and Antiquarian Estate Finds store. So you can go over there and look at those too. We don't have them laminated over there, um, but I am on Etsy also, and these will be on Etsy. Um, but they actually I will be putting these on eBay as well. So just something fun to do. Um, and so tonight I thought I'd just talk a little bit about what's been going on we did finally get moved in here. I'm still organizing and trying to get things looking somewhat normal. Um, and we did get our shelving set, so that was a big thing to get that set up. And then now I'll be putting books on the shelves and categorizing and trying to get those together. So that's kind of a big job, but it's going pretty smoothly. I will have to stop for a little while and start listing things for Christmas and anything else that comes up, the fall, you know, Thanksgiving, Halloween, whatever that's coming up. So we're doing that. We got in some wonderful, wonderful donations. We've just been really fortunate with our donations lately. And I will go over those in a separate, probably going to do a separate video for that, just because we've had so many donations lately, and I feel like it almost warrants one video. Oh, welcome, S. Farram. Welcome in on Instagram. So that's kind of where I've been at, trying to figure out organizationally where I'm at and that kind of thing, and then trying to get things figured out with the donations and that kind of thing. And then we just had the library release a bunch of Lincoln memorabilia finally, after trying to decide what to do with it for about 5 years. So they just don't have room for it, and it's time to let it go to someone that will enjoy it. So that is coming up. That will probably be spread out from over eBay, whatnot. There's some things like Lincoln funeral papers and that kind of thing. So like funeral newspapers, and so it's probably going to be spread out between eBay and probably like on Whatnot. I'll do private streams with anyone that contacts me as far as getting to look at things and stuff like that. So that's where we're at with that. Like I said, this is going real well over here. I don't quite have everything moved out of the library, but I will get there this fall probably. So we're gonna do just a little bit of poetry reading because I just felt like poetry tonight. So we have some John Updike, and I was just thinking that I would kind of like to read that. He has some sonnets that I liked, and so I don't know. I'm just trying to decide here which ones I wanted to read. I think maybe I'll do some Wendell Berry. It's that Findings by Wendell Berry. Okay. The White and Waking of the House. Yeah, this is kind of a nice. It's a longer. It's kind of a longer one, but let's see how far it goes. Yeah. Yeah, let's do this one. It's called The White and Waking of the House. Above the map, alive with rivers, autumn sycamores changing bronze and white, by the bank edges the hill lifts up to the white walls of the house. Light is its ornament. The room's swift-dimensioned, lofty, windowed, hold countenance of waking in the disjointed instances of autumn. There are wildernesses around it, wilderness returns to it endlessly, the house vanishing daily from waking. Around it the days mount and blaze, and have blazed at orange zenith like fields of summer blooming weeds, banner in the winds like fires and go out. A painting dusks on the white wall aware. Among excuse me. Among the presences of the house its earth colors blended, shifting and monumental in the severe light, prefiguring deep grasses, oranges, bloom. My daughter, grandchild to ragged oblivions of fathers and wives in their black graves, walks below the house in the sun before noon, gathering flowers. She comes, heralded, mourned, to this perilous light. At night, before the sleep, the house is lighted and orderly, forcing interior of deaths and darkness. And before this present house in time, another built of brick, in the same place, with an orchard of pear and apple trees on the south slope along the yard, symmetrically laid out as the sun symmetrically spun the shade of them in unison, daylight to dark, and bricked walks turned from its doorways the house's knowledge of its hill, an orderly geography, hand-wrought, advancing among seasons, harvests, barns, and turning back, laden, welcome to the doorways, the closenesses of the house, that it is its remnant, a fiction, visualization, out of a hand-me-down memory, the house diminishing in the wilderness of its flames, the house and its walks become abstract totally, the orchard's apples no longer symbolic and round in any mouth. I remember the last of the old trees, living half dead out of its time, its tattered shadow swinging in the empty field. The house and its lives fall back into darkness deeper than time, back still into the night it unimaginably burned before that house, remembered burning the wilderness of not knowing what arrivals over what roads came, known to those porches, vanished, the mind conceiving darkness at its source. From the ashes and lives of the past house, this house continues to a summiting, now waking at hot noon in the deadly sun's emblazonment. Only time is accountable. Builders and inheritors sleep in a sleep their waking knew the house would forget. For the light of this day they have prepared the house with their dying for the light of a delicate instrument, white as if in near past, played upon by fire, white and white in the phases of day, a movement, the clear passages and rooms move through the intervals of waking, windows filling with day, filling with darkness, filling with day. Out of the stillnesses of its clocks, the house moves along the voluble, slow nouns of its consciousness. Its fields approach it, seasonally burned, and go back. Its roadways travail among harvests, sleeps, and births, dwell in the white of it. Wilderness returns to it, the yearly enactment of briar bloom, blackberry, hackberry, hawthorn at the woods, boundaries, advance of weeds and thickets, across the fence rows to be driven back, a fatal contending the house's lives have awakened to it. Out of the hand-marked kitchen door into the cavernous light of one summer day, my namesake Uncle's laughter disappeared, rode in his non-committal furrowing box out of the time that was no longer and was past all time to come, into no time at all. After his death's child-killing night, I was allowed back briefly once to see the quiet of his mimic sleep. When I came again, I didn't recognize the house, and the deaths before that interminable. Past his silence, he lives, most delicate and frail, in the lifetime of memory, his laughter a full brittle cup. Childhood's dying knew no ends. My grandfather's eyes shut out the house. In that death's second spring his days defamed him. What darkness balked and shammed? At the bed's edge he endlessly knew. The hill drawing back, green to darkness endlessly, at last he gave up even pain. My grandmother survived her nights 12 years before, punished and ill with the life of her stubborn flesh. After the death of consciousness, the past became her nightmare. Memory went wild in her mind's wild wilderness. Faces she no longer could name appeared in the darkening windows of her sleep. The deaths after these interminable, they went out like fires that burn into recollection, consuming memory also, and the memories of memory, and the rememberers also. These deaths and conjectures, darknesses and oblivions make a wilderness. Not exactly uplifting, if you ask me, but kind of interesting. Welcome, JMN Bookseller on Instagram. In a back upstairs room, a gallery of portraits without names, quilt pieces, banknotes, cancelled mortgages, hymns and oaths, broken books, odorless dusks, and shambles of ceremonies, processions, flowers, letters from the dead to the dead, the hands that laid them by never took them up again. This is what my mind owes for its life, unless the living be damned in the dead's honor. Intelligence must gash and glean among these remnants. I gotta get a drink here because my throat is being its weird self. Number 7. Beyond their 100th nightmare, obstacle wilderness, the trumpet vine blooms out, heraldic on the stump of the dead grandmother cedar, by the plum tree, on the summer lawn before noon, blazon and shade of orange, red and green. Northwest, the horizon is marked with a vein of smoke from a city 20 miles away. It becomes dark, distant, near sundown, when the light is behind it, a black feather blowing the way the wind blows. Mornings it is white and hardly visible. The house has become aware of it. What the house moves toward is a wilderness, confusion of alternatives, possibilities, the mind conceiving darkness at its end. But consciousness terribly envisions brightness, is burdened with the wish of it, dreams grievously foreshadowing clarities. Let the house's white prefigure what will be, a metropolis gathering of white. That is a fiction necessarily of hope only, and the dark is against it. It is more rending than doom. The house's waking elects a whiteness, its dead perhaps may delicately dream. In the most of darkness, the tentative bright metal of marigolds lights in the mind, a fruit jar full of them placed on a table in the center of the white daylit tall room by a small girl whose fine hair, brighter than marigolds, flies out of touch. Her bouquet, gift to the day. A dark feeding wakefulness suffers in this, such passing light is dear, but waking hungers for it. The tall bouquet and intelligence of orange and gold becomes a presence of the house, perceives in the room the justness of its windows, its white doors, clarifies the house among its remnant deaths and passages. And that ends my reading for the night. This is Findings Poems by Wendell Berry, and this is one of the books that we have here at the library. It is not for sale currently. It will be. And if you want it, let me know, but it's not listed anywhere. Yeah, it's a first edition. It's a nice poem book. It's a little bit, I don't know, not really exactly uplifting, but it is good. I mean, it's dated 1969, and it is a first edition. So, anyway, if anybody's interested, let me know. It has the dust jacket still and everything on here. So, all right. Well, I think with that, we will shut it down for tonight. Thank you for joining me. I do want to say that if you have not heard of Whatnot, it is a place where I am out there a lot now because I have to make rent on the space that I'm in now. So I am over there every Tuesday and Thursday night at 6 o'clock Central Standard Time. We are on there as Rarity Estate Finds. Um, and so if you want to follow us over there, feel free. I have a link to um, a nice invite link that will give you money off um, your first purchase over there. It's free to join, and things are very cheap over there. Like but no matter what you're looking at, to buy, whether it's books or you know giftware, whatever. There's a ton of different things on there. So, and if you follow my link, that gives me a little bit of they give me a little bit of money to get started uh, with some of my projects over there, and so that gives me a little bit of cash flow as well. If you follow my link to the right and get on there and sign up, and that kind of thing, totally free to sign up. Not a, and it's very user friendly, and you just pick a category and see who's on at any given time. It's like a live auctioning situation, and I found it to be really nice community over there. The website is the people that started it, they're very nice, and so I highly recommend it. So, and I am over there quite a bit. But as always, you can get me through eBay if you prefer that, or Biblio. Can contact me through any of those ways, as well as Facebook and Instagram. They'll let me know if I have anybody. Oh, welcome, Anthony SH Antiques. Um, and so, yeah, so anytime you want to get a hold of me, feel free. So, okay, guys. Well, I will let you go for tonight. I'll be back on here next Monday, and with more news and what's going on, what's available, and hopefully I'll have the back of this cleaned up and looking a little better. So anyway, all right. Well, have a great evening, and I will see you next week. Bye. Bye, guys. Have a great week.